Hey, what's up degenerates? Me, Triple A, back again with yet another cancerous questions video. Let's dive right in, shall we?
What's the deal with Santa? So breaking and entering is okay long as it's a chubby white dude. And he's eating your mama's cookies?
Firstly,
What the fucking fuck?
another question about a fictional character. What is it with these fucktards at BuzzFeed and questioning fictional characters? Out of all the topics they could approach, all the issues they could address, and they choose fucking fictional characters. And this is the point where I see in the comment section the BuzzFeed fangirls comment, oh, they want their videos to start light-hearted and be playful, blah blah blah. Now fuck that shit. If they've got something to say, they should just come out and say it. You know what I mean?
When are you gonna stop asking me if I pray 5 times a day? That's so mean, because I don't. I feel guilty.
Right. This is one of the more retarded comments, because praying 5 times a day is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. You know, the things that actually make you a Muslim.
Why must you put bacon in everything?
Bacon-infused donuts? Come on now.
Is this water safe to drink? There's bacon in this water, huh?
Bacon is delicious. Donuts are delicious. Combine one delicious thing with another, and now you can enjoy 2 things that you love at the same time. It's rocket science, I know. So let's talk about the religious denunciation and prohibition of pork for a minute, shall we? There is a ton of info and studies out there regarding the decline of the popularity of pork in the Middle East. Some approach from a socio-economic point, others from a cleanliness point. While both points have their merits, it would actually be more efficient to keep chickens. And pigs do eat and root and shit, and carry parasites and other harmful elements. They seem to miss what I think is the crux of the matter. Their omnivorous nature, and the fact that people were fed to pigs as a punishment.
Feed them to the pigs, Errol.
Do you really think women wearing a hijab don't have hair underneath? Do you think that when you see someone with a beanie, a hat, a hoodie?
Anyone who believes this is clearly retarded and should be avoided.
Why do you think all Muslims are Arab?
Islam is a religion and not a race. So I don't think all Muslims are Arab. It's just common sense, really.
1 billion people in the Middle East. That's geographically, physically, intellectually impossible.
Physically impossible. Let's look at this intellectually for a moment, and let's see, shall we? The total land mass of the Middle East is roughly 9 million kilometers squared, which is extremely close to the size of the US, which is 9.8 million kilometers squared. So for argument's sake, let's use the US as a base for this little experiment. If we take the highest population per kilometer squared in America, which is 22,053, which is Gutenberg, New Jersey, then from that we can make a rudimentary extrapolation by timesing the possible population per kilometer squared by the total landmass in kilometers squared. So we'll say 9 million times 22,000, which gives us 198 billion. So it's not intellectually impossible or physically impossible. Granted, the criteria for this is that the entirety of the US is one big overpopulated city, but the premise is not whether we can fit 198 billion into the country. It's if we can fit just one. So, yeah.
Why are only Muslims mentioned in talks about religious extremism? Did y'all forget about the KKK, Westboro Baptist Church, Crusades? We all have the bad seeds in the family.
This is so uneducated, it makes my brain hurt. I feel like my head's about to fucking explode.
Allahu Akbar!
The KKK are a non-entity at this point. They haven't killed anyone in years. The Westboro Baptist Church are bigots and deplorable human beings, each and every one. But when they have a problem with something, they pick up a picket sign, not a fucking knife, gun, bomb vest, or fucking jar of acid. As for the Crusades, let me give you a little history lesson, because it's obvious that you know very little about this subject. Muslims were burning, raping, pillaging and enslaving their way across the Mediterranean, Lower Europe and Northern Africa. They destroyed entire civilizations, burned cities to the ground, murdered entire male populations, and raped and enslaved the women. The Crusades were a reactionary measure to push the Muslims back to the Middle East. Now you know the actual history. Do you really think that is a good argument? No, I did not fucking think so.
Why do you assume all Muslim women are conservative virginal souls? And I am, if my mom's watching.
Because it says in your own scripture that if you are not a conservative virginal soul, you should either be beaten or stoned to death.
Why do you expect every Muslim woman to wear a headscarf? Does every Catholic woman dress like a nun? Does every Jewish man wear a yarmulke? Does every Shrek wear a tunic?
Are you really scared that we're going to take over America with Sharia law? I can barely wake up for Fajr, let alone wage a holy war.
Personally, I'm more concerned with my native country, England, at the present time, as there is already a strongly encroaching presence of Muslims who do want to take over with Sharia. We have state-sanctioned Sharia courts and Muslim men enforcing Sharia in gangs on our streets. Hate preachers allowed to spew their disgusting rhetoric on our streets on a daily basis. Marches decrying the police who protect these communities and the soldiers who protect our country. Attacks on elderly World War II veterans and desecrations of war memorials. The rapes of young girls and children, to which the police do literally nothing through fear of being labelled as racist. So you'll have to excuse me if I'm not too worried about America at the time being, considering all this is going on my doorstep.
You really think I want to donate 2.5% of my income to charity? Nah, that's hella McChickens.
I refer you again to the 5 pillars of Islam, the core tenets of the religion that you claim to be a part of.
What is the secret ingredient in church's chicken? It's so good.
The secret ingredient is bacon grease.
Check your privilege signal.